It is Super Nanny Saturday, and this week we are watching the Phelps Family. So grab your beverage and let's dive in.
Jacob, he's like short-tempered. It's an anger issue a lot with Jacob.
Brody is our most stubborn child.
Don't tell me no, let's go.
No.
Come on.
No. He will completely lock down if you've tried to make him do something that he don't want to do.
Aiden is the most difficult.
He'll hit, scream, completely lose it if you tell him no to something.
Look at Joe Frost, and she's like, I am in for it with this family. We have been introduced to 3 children, all of which handle frustration in really unhealthy ways. The first child, he goes toward aggression, 0 to 60. I'm frustrated, so I'm gonna knock this over, I'm gonna push this down. The second child, he plants his feet in the ground, you can't make me. And then the third child, he's more of a mix of both of his brothers. Now, why does this happen? Well, we all experience frustration, but not all of us know what to do when we're frustrated.
For disciplining, I usually scream.
Do you want to play it? Then play it. I'm not sitting in here and doing this bull crap.
And I spank.
No, sir. Do you want it on the hand or the hiney? I said that's a no.
It's not necessary.
No. Ma'am. Okay, so what's the issue? What are you having trouble with your kids? Oh, aggression, yeah. 3 kids with aggression. Oh, that is so hard. Okay, so what do you do when they're aggressive? What do you do? You know? Oh, you yell and you hit them. Do you hear the words that are coming out of your mouth? Make it make sense. And I remind myself often that spanking and other forms of corporal punishment have been normalized for so long that people are so far in it that they just don't see what we see. But if you've been around long enough on this channel, you know one thing that'll get Kristen riled up is corporal punishment. And it's just, we'll leave it at this. Just because something's normalized doesn't make it right.
I don't think both parents speak to each other quite nicely.
Were you drinking water?
That'll be
Did
fine.
you put any in the fridge?
I don't reckon I did, just like I didn't do the diaper all day long.
What did you do all day then?
We have our first data point on observation day. Mom and Dad don't handle their frustration appropriately. They use passive-aggressive comments. Clearly, Dad is frustrated in whatever Mom is doing during the day. That's a pretty common issue with couples, especially when you introduce a child. Both of you are trying to navigate who's responsible for what. Everyone feels like they're pulling more weight than the other person, but how they're handling it is horrible.
From watching the submission tape, I know that Mum and Dad choose to spank their kids as a form of discipline in his children.
Spare the rod, spoil the child. That's in the Bible, okay? And I was raised in, if you do something wrong, you get spanked. I want it to be to where I don't have to spank my kids. There's a better way,
It does work. I don't feel like that you can be out in public and be like, okay, I'm gonna time out you.
Well, this is unusual. Dad is open to other forms of discipline that don't involve hitting his children, while Mom is opposed to it. She's defending. Oh, ooh, this is interesting. Let's keep watching.
You're clinging on to Aiden for the wrong reason. Emotionally, that fills a hole for you that feels good. It pacifies you. It feeds you emotionally, Amy. I get it.
Super Nanny has her meeting and we find out that they are working on 3 skills. The first skill is going to be discipline. Out with the spanking, in with another form of consequence that's not hitting. I'm assuming it'll be timeout because that's Joe Frost's thing. The second skill they're working on is nutritious food. These children, and I didn't show it, they eat Lunchables all the time, processed meats, bologna they showed one of the children eating. Those drinks that are colored and they have all kinds of sugar and dyes in them. on a regular basis. Also strawberry milk, a lot of it for one of the children, and that's just pure sugar. Now, you won't find me talking about nutrition much on this channel because I'm not an expert in that area. I have learned how to get my own 2 children to eat some nutritious food, but I have never applied that to other children in the same way that I've applied discipline techniques. So I'm interested to see what Joe Frost implements. And the final skill they're working on is sleep.
Well, you can see here we've got rules for mum and dad and rules for kids. So let's start off with a rule for the kids.
We're talking back.
Okay, boys, a rule for mum and dad.
No spanking us.
How about no screaming? Can we work on that?
Yeah. Yeah, no screaming. No spanking.
Well, that doesn't go well, and here I am cheering in the corner. Joe Frost brings a little, whatever that is, paper, and it says rules for the kids. And then, of course, they put things like, no hitting and fighting and whatever else that you would put down, right? Rules. And then there was a side for rules for mom and dad. And the first thing that we saw, at least on this edited version, is that the kid says no spanking. And mom does not like that. She says, well, children should never dictate the way that discipline happens in a house or something or another. I'm paraphrasing. And that was eye-opening to me because that revealed her parenting philosophy. She sees parents as power, and you listen to me because I said so. You know what that's called? Authoritarian. And what does that lead to? An adult who only listens because of rules and laws and consequences. Oh, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to be fined, so I'm going to listen to the rules because of those reasons. Not because, I shouldn't commit a crime because it hurts other people, because we work as a team, we live in a harmonious society. I shouldn't steal this person's thing because that's wrong on a fundamental level, not because I'm going to go to jail.
There came a point when the boys had to start tidying up, and Brody refused to do it. He started to stall.
Brody, look, what is this? And this?
I'd like you to turn around and tell him I'm asking you to pick up those pieces and put them into the box. If I have to come up here and see you're not doing...
No. We have to talk about start behaviors and stop behaviors. When a child is asked to clean their room, do their homework, those are start behaviors because they take time. They can't happen immediately. A stop behavior is whining, hitting, being rude, cursing, because they can be fixed immediately. Using a consequence, such as timeout, for a start behavior is just plain ineffective. Because the thing is the kid's gonna sit in timeout and go, all right, I didn't want to clean up my room anyway. I didn't want to do my homework anyway, so I'm just gonna sit here in timeout. I don't care. It doesn't work. So what can you do instead? When you're trying to get a child to complete a start activity, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, am I requesting something that is developmentally appropriate? This room looks like a tornado went through it, okay? I'm overwhelmed if I need to clean that room. That is a lot to ask a young child. Once you know that it is developmentally appropriate and your kid just doesn't want to do it, which happens, what you can do is place a fun activity after. So you go, oh, you know what? The sun is starting to go down, and I was thinking we could get outside on our bicycles before the mosquitoes come. I live in Florida, so I always say this, like, mosquitoes on their way. Let's get outside and go play. Oh, you know what? We should really clean up our room before we get there. Let's clean up just the blocks, and then let's get outside and ride our bike. If you place an activity after whatever the boring activity is, your kid is more likely to move faster.
But Brody still has to do what he refused to do in the beginning, and that's tidy up that playroom.
Let's go upstairs. No. He's asking for time out because he thinks it's easier.
This is exactly the reason I think timeouts don't work.
This is so frustrating because now mom is like, you see, timeout doesn't work. I have to hit my child in order for them to listen, and that's just not true. If you are new here, and I feel like I have to say this, My channel is not about bashing Jo Frost, and it's also not about putting her as some god, okay? She offers many forms of discipline that are extremely helpful to families all over the world. But if you want to learn more about start and stop behaviors specifically, and this rings true to you where you've tried timeout in certain situations, you're like, it's not working, check out the book 1, 2, 3 Magic. That is an oldie but a goodie. Do I love everything in it? No, just like I don't love everything with Jo Frost either. Just like you probably watch my channel and you don't love everything that I say either. Pick out what works for you and your family.
Today, you get a chance to decide a meal that you would like to eat tonight. But this is the catch. Mum and Dad are not cooking dinner tonight. You guys are going to be the chefs.
Y'all did a great job. This is good food.
All right, last up on the skills was the food, and the technique that Jo Frost used was getting your kids in the kitchen. She gets them these adorable little aprons with their names on it, and she includes choices. So she puts a wheel and she has meat in one section, I guess grains, I don't know, I don't remember each one, vegetables, something. She had a category for each. And then the children had to pick. I like that. I like that. Do you like it?
I'm going now. Can I give you a cuddle? Okay. Bye-bye.
They're really pleasant boys,
Come here, big boy.
and they certainly got themselves into pickles because they didn't have those guidelines from their parents.
Can I give you a hug? Yeah.
So if the parents can toe the line, then they'll have kids that can do that as well.
All right, Phelps family, let's see where you are now. This was filmed in 2009. We have the ages of everyone now. So Amy, the mother, is 45 now. Dad is 51. Jacob, right? That's his name? Jacob, yeah. Jacob is 24. Brody is 20. And Aiden is 18. Amy gave birth to a 4th son named Rylan and eventually started a beauty blog. So they expanded their family a little bit. And Jacob, the oldest son, he married a woman in 2020. So congrats to Jacob. And it even said that Jacob had a son who was born in 2023. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any pictures of them now. Let me know in the comments if you have any links to updates on the Phelps family, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.